Have you ever given up trying to learn a new language? Maybe you studied Spanish in school and despite your best efforts, you just couldn't find the time to practice. Or perhaps you simply felt as if you were never making any real progress. But it's not your fault. The way we're taught, especially in school, is frequently ineffective. Fortunately, this doesn't have to be your first time learning a foreign language. There are some simple tips and tricks you can use to hack your brain into learning a language faster than you ever imagined possible. So let's get right to it. 1. Decide why you want to learn a second language. Before buying a German language book or any other language guide, you must first determine why you want to learn a second language. You're less likely to succeed if you're doing it to impress someone or because you think it's a cool trick. This is due to the difficulty of learning a language. When things get stressful, you'll need intrinsic motivation to keep you focused. There are times when you feel like you're learning and growing, and other times when nothing you do helps you remember. During difficult times, remembering why you started in the first place will help you push forward and succeed. Number 2. Focus on remembering and learning the sounds first. Learning a new language as a child seemed much easier, didn't it? Well, there's a reason for that. Babies have an amazing ability to distinguish and remember all sounds in all languages. That's how we become fluent in our native tongue. However, as we age, we lose this incredible ability to remember and distinguish sounds. Adult Japanese students, for example, have difficulty distinguishing L and R sounds in English. Is it possible to regain the ability to memorize sounds and foreign words? Yes. First and foremost, rather than mastering the grammar and vocabulary, concentrate on repeating and practicing the difficult foreign sounds. Spend more time listening to the language and repeating phrases and sounds as they're said. Furthermore, studies show that if you want to master a language faster, you should listen and learn to understand different accents and voices. Listening to a diverse range of speakers will train your brain and assist you in more reliably transferring that knowledge to the real world. 3. Use the spaced repetition technique. When it comes to language learning tricks, spaced repetition is an oldie but a goldie. It helps in the retention of new words. To practice, you must go over each word and phrase you've learned at regular intervals. Initially, those should be shorter. You may need to review a new word or phrase several times during one practice session, and then again the next day. Once it's ingrained in your mind, you'll be able to go days, even weeks, without forgetting what you've learned. 4. Try the pinch yourself hack. Manish Sethi, a frequent traveler who learned 4 foreign languages as an adult, invented this technique. His strategy was based on the fact that negative stimuli significantly increase self-improvement. According to a study conducted by New York University's Department of Psychology and Center for Neural Sciences, your body's threat response improves memory. In their tests, this meant that for incorrect responses, they received light electric shocks. 5. Schedule learning sessions before bedtime. One of the most significant advantages of sleep is that it allows us to clean our active operating memory, thereby increasing our learning capacity. Studying before going to bed or taking a nap after your practice session will help you store all the information you've just learned in your brain's long-term memory. Once there, the data is safely stored for a longer period of time. The spaced repetition technique will assist you in strengthening the link between the short-term and long-term memory, allowing you to remember everything more quickly and accurately. 6. Study the content, not the language. According to the findings of a study published in the Cambridge Journal, students who studied another subject in French instead of a general language class performed better on listening tests and were motivated to learn. Students in the standard class, on the other hand, performed better on reading and writing tests, indicating that both approaches have merit. To improve your understanding, try including some content on topics that interest you in your language learning. To accelerate your progress, read articles online, watch videos, or listen to podcasts. 7. Mix old and new words. Our brain craves novelty, but trying to learn a large number of new words at once can be overwhelming. As a result, in order to remember new concepts, you should combine them with old information that's familiar to you. For example, you could try reading a familiar children's book in a foreign language. The language is simple enough, and knowing the story allows you to guess the meaning of new words without having to consult the dictionary, mixing novelty and old information. Furthermore, reading children's book in another language is more enjoyable. 8. Study in sprints. Making time to learn a new language can be difficult. If you're pressed for time, you may be tempted to postpone your studies and cram a significant chunk of information into your head every other week. However, studying in short bursts every day is far more effective. Because our brain has limited inbox space that's cleared out while we sleep, If you study for hours at a time, you will quickly reach your study limit. The best results will come from studying in small sprints every day and using spaced repetition. 9. Don't be embarrassed about your fluency. Adults have a tendency to be perfectionists. We tend to avoid activities in which we cannot comfortably perform well, whether singing, dancing, or speaking in front of others. Speaking a foreign language is no exception. You're going to make errors. It's totally natural. Feeling embarrassed about it, on the other hand, doesn't have to be. Anxiety and embarrassment will impede your learning by preventing you from putting your skills to the test. You should work on overcoming your fear of public speaking if you want to truly be free of embarrassment. Growth Evolution Development has some great strategies and tactics to help you break through those barriers and take control of the situation so you can start speaking more in your target language. 10. Take risks. So far, you're confident in your language abilities. That's fantastic. However, without practice, you will never know how successful your studies were. Don't give in to language learning anxiety. Take a risk and put your knowledge to the test. Begin a conversation with them in their native language. In that language, order food at a restaurant that serves your target language. If possible, travel to the country where the language you're learning is spoken. To put your language speaking skills to the test, you'll have to step outside of your comfort zone. Being at ease with risk is a necessary part of the process. Learning a new language happens in the brain, so you must ensure that your brain is prepared for it. You'll be able to learn a second language quickly if you take the proper steps to prepare your mind for the task at hand. But it's not just a matter of mentally preparing yourself, it's also a matter of having the right strategies in place for success. The most important thing to remember is to relax and have fun, because this is when your brain truly opens up to learning. Have you had any luck with these methods? How did you learn to speak a foreign language? Tell us in the comments. See you in the next video. Have a nice day.